We've experienced many shortages over the past few years, and there doesn't seem to be any end in sight. While we should never be hoarding, we should be stocking up on items our family requires just to make sure that their daily needs are met. And this includes medications to take care of minor and possibly major health issues. Did you know that many herbs that you grow in your own garden have antimicrobial properties that can help you prevent or even fight infections? Today we'll be discussing 5 herbs that you should be stocking or even growing to be prepared for medication shortages. Calendula is a pretty orange flower that is excellent for preventing and treating skin problems. Calendula can be made into a strong tea to wash wounds to prevent infection. Mix equal parts of fresh calendula flower and plantain leaves with a small amount of just boiled water to make an antibiotic drawing poultice. Don't add too much water, you want it to be thick. You may want to put it through your food processor or blender to get a nice consistency, or you can chop up the herbs finely and then mix them with the water. Once the mixture is cooled to a comfortable temperature, apply it to the wound and wrap it with plastic wrap to keep it moist. Every 12 hours, remove the poultice and wash the area before reapplying. If the area shows any sign of infection, such as excessive redness, especially if there are red streaks radiating from the wound, pus, excessive heat around the wound, or a foul odor coming from the wound, get to a doctor immediately. Also, while allergy to plantain is rare, calendula is a member of the daisy family. So if you are allergic to daisies, marigolds, sunflowers, ragweed, or other members of the asteraceae family, you will want to do a test on a very small area of healthy skin to see if you react. You really don't want a rash on top of that wound. The plantain acts to draw the infection out of the wound, and the calendula works with your immune system to fight off any infection. Calendula can help your body fight infections caused by bacteria, viruses, and has some effect against fungi. In addition to using it in a wash or a poultice, it can be infused into an oil and made into a salve to be used on rashes or scrapes. While the wash or poultice can be used on burns, you should never use an occlusive preparation of any herb on a burn or a wound that is seeping. An occlusive preparation, such as infused oils or salves, prevents air from reaching the burn, which can lead to a serious infection. Plastic wrap should not be used on these types of wounds for the same reason. In case of a burn, apply a poultice and cover with a natural fiber cloth. Plantain grows rampantly all over the United States. It is considered a weed and is probably already growing in your yard. Harvest and dry the leaves after the plant has begun to flower. Calendula is easy to grow from seed, and even if you live in an HOA, you should be allowed to plant this pretty flower in your flower beds. You can also purchase calendula and plantain powder that is already processed and ready to use. Echinacea, or purple coneflower, has been used for hundreds of years to help boost the immune system and fight off colds, the flus, and other viruses. It is also helpful for urinary tract infections, wounds, burns, and in extreme cases, snake bite. While the root has stronger antibiotic effect, the flower heads and leaves are also antibiotic, and using them will not kill the plant. Once you dig up the echinacea root, the plant is gone. Save the root for serious infections, like when you can't get to a doctor, or in the case of snake bite. If you get bitten by a snake, dig up the plant, slap a poultice made from the root on the bite, and eat as much of the root as you can. Then get to a doctor fast. Echinacea works by not only stimulating your immune system to fight infection, but in recent years it has also been shown to have direct antimicrobial effects of its own. Echinacea contains an antitoxin that neutralizes the venom in bee stings and bug bites. Slapping a poultice on the area can help the swelling and pain that can occur. Echinacea can be taken internally as a tea, or the powder can be put into empty capsules to be swallowed. If you know you've been exposed to a respiratory infection such as a cold, flu, or other virus, take 1 teaspoon of echinacea in a tea or 2 capsules at a time twice a day for 5 to 7 days. If you feel a cold or the flu coming on, start the same dose immediately and continue until the symptoms have resolved. It may be tempting to take echinacea all the time, but it can cause stomach upset when used long term. And while there is some debate on how serious the problem can potentially be, Because it works by stimulating the immune system to work more efficiently, you may want to avoid Echinacea if you have an autoimmune disease such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or multiple sclerosis. Echinacea is easy to grow but may be difficult to start from seeds. Because of over-harvesting in the wild, it is becoming endangered, so it is best to purchase plants from a local nursery to plant in your yard. Garlic is delicious in food, isn't it? But if you want to get the full antibiotic effects, you will want to take your garlic raw. When garlic is cut or crushed and the inside of the clove is exposed to air for about 10 minutes, it produces compounds that are antibacterial, antifungal, and may help fight cancer. One raw garlic clove has been compared in strength to 1 dose of prescription antibiotic. Take a crushed clove of garlic twice a day for 7 to 10 days to help your body get rid of intestinal infections, including intestinal worms, colds, flu, pneumonia, and bronchitis. It is helpful to decrease sinus congestion and excess mucus that can accompany respiratory infections. It has also been shown to be useful in treating ringworm, a fungal infection. Too much garlic can cause indigestion. It can also interact with blood thinners such as warfarin and increase your risk of bleeding, so do not take large doses of garlic if you are on blood thinners. Garlic is easy to grow in a pot or in your garden. It is planted in the late fall and harvested in early to late summer. Garlic stores very well if kept in the whole bulb. Keep it in a cool, dark, and dry place. Elderberry syrup is a wonderful antiviral that should be taken anytime there is a chance of catching a cold, the flu, or other virus. While the berry is safe to take after it has been cooked, the raw berries can make you sick. To make elderberry syrup, take 1 cup of fresh berries or 1/3 cup of dried berries and add it to 3 cups of water in a pan. To this add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of powdered cloves, and 1/2 teaspoon of powdered ginger. Simmer this mixture for an hour or until the liquid is reduced by half. Remove from the heat and allow this to come to nearly room temperature. Then strain and add 1½ cups of honey. Do not add the honey to the hot liquid because the medicinal benefits of the honey will be destroyed by the heat. Wait until it comes to almost room temp. Keep this syrup in the refrigerator for up to a month. During cold and flu season, take 1 tablespoon of elderberry syrup every morning to help prevent getting sick. If you do get a respiratory infection, increase the dose to 1 tablespoon twice daily until the issue is resolved. While there are no well-documented drug interactions between elderberry or elderflower and prescription medications, it may increase the effects of some blood pressure medications, injected insulin, some chemotherapy meds, and laxatives. While elder is easy to grow, it is a large bush and takes quite a bit of space. You can also purchase dried elderberries online. Chamomile is one of my favorite herbs. I drink it because it tastes delicious, but it is a wonderful antimicrobial for gum infections, bronchitis, pink eye, and other eye infections. Make a strong cup of tea and allow it to come to room temperature. Strain this through a coffee filter to get all of the solids out. This tea can be used as an eye wash once or twice a day for eye infections. The tea can also be swished in your mouth to treat bleeding gums. Either spit out the liquid or swallow it after swishing for 2 to 3 minutes. Add 2 tablespoons of dried flowers to a bowl of just boiled water. While leaning over the bowl, cover your head in the bowl with a towel to trap the steam and breathe deeply to treat sinus congestion or bronchitis. If you are allergic to anything in the asteraceae family, such as daisies, mums, or ragweed, you will want to choose another herb since chamomile is also a member of this family. Otherwise, chamomile has few side effects. Chamomile is a pretty flower that looks much like a tiny little daisy with a bright yellow center surrounded by small white petals. Chamomile is easy to grow from seed and loves full sun. After the ground is warm and after any threat of frost, sprinkle the seed in the area and press them into the ground, but do not cover the seeds as they need light to germinate. While chamomile is an annual plant, which means it only grows for 1 season, if you leave some of the flowers at the end of the year, they will self-seed and you will have chamomile for many years. So what antibiotic are you going to plant this year? Stay healthy. Get that herbal pantry started, and have a blessed day.